first time I ever saw Swan Lake, it was in a live performance, and it was here in Portugal, in Lisbon. And it was not a very big company, it was a small company actually from Russia, that came from Russia. And at that time I was probably 10 years old, maybe. Yeah, 11 years old. And of course, I already knew about the ballet, this Swan Lake, but I didn't really ever saw a live performance or even in video. And it was just amazing. It was actually the first time I ever saw a full ballet live, and I just loved it. Of course, I didn't see it with the same eyes I have now. It was a great experience. I really enjoyed it, even though I was in the very, very top seats. It was kind of hard to see, and we didn't really understand what the story really was telling us about. Of course, we knew some things, but as a child we just watch the ballet just because there are people dancing for us. But having the opportunity to be the ones on stage this time, it's just amazing. When we first started this production, we started with the second act, and it was the very beginning of the second act, when the swan enters for the first time and the prince sees this creature, this swan. And in this part it's more for expression. Also for the girl it's more of technique, but for the boy it's actually even more of the expression. We start doing all the mime, and that was when we start understanding what was the story Maina wanted us to tell to the public. And we actually started more with the expression and what feeling do we need to share to the audience. After that, I remember we started with White Swan pas de deux. It was such a new thing because I've never done that pas de deux before, and it's a hard pas de deux, and it's just beautiful. It's one of my favorite pas de deux, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to dance it on stage this time. This is a very demanding ballet, and there are some parts that when we just get out, we start thinking about all the technical stuff we made on stage, as the dancers do during all performance. But in this case, I think one of the most demanding parts is the first act solo, adagio solo. It's a very hard solo, and I think I am very perfectionist. So when I get out and I think that something didn't go right, I just get a bit frustrated and try to always do more and more. But of course, it's a hard solo to do, and it happens a lot. So. It's not just demanding physically, but also in our mentality, because we need to be very strong to do some errors, to have some mistakes, so we can get better every time we do it. And when we have bad days, sometimes very bad days, we just need to try to get over it and think we have a next day to practice.
The first time I saw Swan Lake, it was on a video, and I was really, really young. I was about 5 years old, and I loved the story, but I didn't quite understand all the story. So my mom showed me on like this time, Christmas time, and the first thing that I saw it was that Odette and Odile, they looked really the same. And I asked, oh, they have twins to do it. I asked that to my mom, and she said, no, it's the same person who usually does it. And I said, but why does someone need to do both roles? And then she explained me the story, and she gave me a book that had just images because I couldn't read yet. And for that I saw, and then I saw also Barbie, Swan Lake, and there I could understand more the story because it was easier because they speak and all that stuff. And when I was a bit later, I watched it again, like when I was 10, and I went to search for the story, like the real story, not the Barbie one. And I was in love with it, but I always preferred so much Odette because I love the dreaming and the suffer that she has, and the hope also. So that was the first time I saw Swan Lake. So for this production with Maina, we started right after we finished Giselle's role, so it was a bit different too. We had to change so much all the stuff because it's but much different. So we started doing the mime scene because I think when you start by doing that, you understand the story and the technique comes easier. Because what I feel on this ballet, especially on Odette, it's that everything, it's what you feel. You do the steps how you feel. It's not just about technique. Of course, it's really hard. I like both characters, but for me, I feel that Odile, it's more challenging. Not just about the technique, but the character, it's much harder because you need to have a lot of things going in your brain while you're doing the steps because you're pretending to be someone else and also doing a really hard pas de deux and variation. So that's more hard, so I can't feel how I feel in Odette because it comes more easier to me. So I have to be more concentrated, and that's what I feel.